How can something as beautiful as this be dying? A plague is ruining the land, but the tree of life still stands. Question is, for how long? End is coming to the new world. The tribes stand divided, in need of someone strong enough to unite them, or bring them all down. This is a story with an unusual... Welcome to Biomutant. We're already at a crossroads. Choosing a path in life is that fork in the road where you make a choice or simply stop living. But for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice. A reflection of your key, the primal energy that flows through everything.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the dark side of you, your inner voice to be precise, an echo of the balance and consequence of your actions as you move forward.
Can't believe you'd choose that thing over me! But I'll be here waiting for you when you have a change of heart.
That thing? I'm right here. Let me remind you, we're two halves of the same.
Better half. My way...
The best end...
Guess left can be right, sometimes. Right is always right. Stories of death and the bodies left behind. A reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family? Or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the predator only grew stronger. Better make a run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story. This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. for when you're committed to cutting. The predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the Tree of Life started to die. Misery. One down soon. One hand after the other. The oil sludges everywhere. To most, it only means death. But some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. A smart foe would lead now. Scragged another.
Up for grabs.
That's sure to be useful. An emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Don't let go. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and, without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right, but no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Sharp. Got that. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives.
Nuka, Nuburak, Kotuvon, Ko Konvunkono.
He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why.
Evunkutu Chintuata Moti Huasa.
He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up.
Muk Bebuk.
He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed.
Evunkutu Buvum.
There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is... The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past. How Lupa Lupin somehow... There's no doubt. It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight. Asks if you are tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. You're such a good child, so you probably did. Even the young forget. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source of life. The Nono's key energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you... You handle that. He's grateful. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Mooma comes looking for you. You did good here today.
Alu, Tulua.
He lost you there for a while, but no...
Pilfof Uvu, Tuluoya, no, Yalubatulu.
The tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that that the World Eaters arrived.
Yeah, Mufurbo.
Records tell of the ruinous devastation. His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Noko has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast.
Ya, you mawa. Ba, no, you, Tulua.
The road...
Ikobe. Ifarikobo, fan.
He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved.
Yevofo lola no adu awa ya kuchai. Ifar befa.
Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the... You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Let's see. be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by your intentions. He's grateful for...
Ah! That's a spark of light in you!
That's right. Smack that spark out before it starts.
You don't have to be so harsh.
Take it out.
There's...
There's Out-of-Date again. He must have missed something important. Regardless of who you choose, it won't... The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Out of... He believes the tribe Sifus, Jagni especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit. In another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's a bridge. Just get over it. They've destroyed this area, muddied up what used to be muck, as if it wasn't bad enough before the tribe war began. A mercy, maybe. That's the Jagni tribe's fort. Their friendship can be a blessing or a curse. It's up to you. You're either a part of their solution to the tribe war, or part of the problem. Let's see. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war.
Zata is the moi do tloho. Kariesne statse. Paro, ya put
The Jagni tribe wants to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. They want to vanquish the tribes, as the only way they can guarantee peace is through supremacy. The Sifu is determined to let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life, as it's part of their strategy to cleanse the world and start anew. He welcomes you to the news of a cold blood. Sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one. Says fear and hatred is the only path to domination, but you already know that. So embracing that side of you and helping them vanquish the tribes and letting the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life should be an easy decision. He expects. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor.
Zivot Ozekali.
Their kin must put an end to the war before war puts an end to them. It'll cost...
Del Novazi Ale.
He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen.
Zivot Adafu Uflete.
You both
Kariesne Statse. Ivezieti Reclidete.
Once you've conquered the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu.
Ivezieti Zum Ilam O Otloho. Iglis O Ite Regnes Statsne Okon. Ite Moi und listening.
Anyway, you'll pass your old village on your way to...
Ozekali. Afinosko.
Under...
Brikzam zizi nabla. Ula bukawetawa fufu sutu parate. Nukado.
Time to buy or sell? Peddler is eager for you to...
Halita Dota.
Shopkeeper claims...
Upsak Danam.
Says...
Krakiusa Kladas. Ikbamwe.
Hulave Ayas. Nyamana Flemana Fay.
Shopkeeper claims you were... It's Jagni's fort. The gatekeeper will... Let's see. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred. You've used up all your key energy. Great shot. Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer. Let's see. As time passes, memories fade, and sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become. This story is far from over. Echoes of a long-lost past, like whispers in the wind. Here's someone who takes each day as it comes. He asks how you are today. Goop. He wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the lake, practiced. He thinks you should really know how to swim by now. Why? He says that wasn't too bad, was it? But you need practice. Lots of practice. You just need more time in the surf. That's the only way you'll ever learn how to swim. Judging by your Muma's look, it seems you forgot something.
Minä lagi mamuru.
You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go.
Tukonda.
You should know. Practice make...
Asil deret.
She'll see you at the village square.
Asana yotutupu.
Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. Asks how you're feeling today. He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working. He says whatever. He can work wonders with almost anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. That. You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft a weapon. He understands, but hopes you won't be needing it anytime soon. It looks like she's starting to lose her patience. You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see you on the village square.
Andro?
Then you've got... She wants you to grow up and start thinking for yourself. You really need to find yourself before she's gone. You've always... They look determined. Better watch out. He asks you to stop right there and wonders where you think you're going. He wants to know who you think you are.
Nej, nej!
You'll have...
Tändnan på.
She asks if you're hurt. What happened?
Andro, akana rota. Inadab sunka.
It's time to focus on your training now.
Minä lagi mamuru.
Here's someone close to heart, doing what he does best. Seeing you always puts a smile on your pop. Training... He's curious to see what you found. He can work wonders with pretty much anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. Thinks...
Vaksa u intabadal. Muntea bastula. Zenenaft.
You should take it with you. Wear it to practice.
Tiava. Silo uvuksu iskuadean joskaba.
Inadabsunka?
Your Muma says it's about time you got here.
Kent sid.
Hopes you...
Mustikimuh. Kialdo male kanoro tono. Kanyala notoro.
But there's enough time left for repetition, and you need it. Training dummies don't hit...
Andro? Berry?
Your Muma says you did well today. She's so proud of you.
Kala.
Thanks.
Masammal tro pendrine senema. Kalino?
You should go see him and find out what it is. You've deserved it.
Kialdo male kanoro tono.
Catchy.
Aplitonomuta.
Your Muma says she's never seen an apparatus as green.
Kialdo kala. Mustmonibasa.
It's called an automaton, and it's hardwired to your DNA.
Kanamunta. Yo no massa man barut.
Your Muma says you look tired. No wonder. It's been a long day.
Monibasa.
Rest, and you'll find strength for tomorrow. Nothing could stop Lupa Lupin from setting the world on fire. Your Muma urges you to blaze a trail. A burnt kidling will learn to dread fire. That's just adding fuel to the flames. Give it a last burst and you'll make it.
Monibasa.
Your Muma says this is it. The time has come.
Kanyala no Pokemon. Antoro.
She tells you to stay back. This is her fight. It has nothing to do with you.
Inadabsunka?
Here it comes. The past coming to haunt the present. You must go through fire and water to make it out of here. Your Muma says you can make it if you believe in it. Where she goes, you go. Blood is thicker than water. You're in deep surf. Don't make waves. The surf goes where it wants to go. It'll take you to the shore as long as you go with the flow. Death is not to be feared by one who has lived life with a pure heart. A part of her will live on in you. The creature is hungry for more. Nothing is going to stand in its way now. If a sacrifice is made for someone else, it's not lost, but passed on to the next. Life must go on. Real sacrifice comes from love and necessity when all other options are exhausted. The ultimate test of conscience is the willingness to give up anything to save what you truly care about. What you do for yourself dies with you. What you do for your kin remains and makes you immortal in their memory. As the moment fades and is lost, the only thing that remains is loneliness. It doesn't mean you'll forget your past. It simply means you need to move on.
The tribe's caught a fluffy hog. Better watch out, it's no pet.
They couldn't keep it down. Fluff Hulk's on the loose.
Sune.
It was harder than expected to...
Aptabe a yuyupe hoyav. Yunuba jotairotot.
You should hurry there and help them storm the outpost.
Rakilada. Oyuraktot.
Toxanol was something called a corporate juggernaut, and our world still bears the marks of the massive ecological catastrophes they inflicted upon the land. The apocalypse they caused was the end of days for their world. But for us, it was simply a beginning. Hope you haven't seen the sky for the last time. Tunnels like this still carry echoes from the past. Can you hear it? Cutting edge. Chop chop. There's a change in the air. Feels like daybreak.